Good afternoon. I just got back from the Dollar General and I bought some more of these dryer sheets. They only have this kind now. They used to have quite a few different ones that were $1, but all their prices have gone up on the other brands, especially the name brands. So, but these are what I used to use in the vehicles and keep the mice out and everything. And I also use them in the tapes here. And so I'm going to change all that to a fresh one. And what I'm going to do this time is to put one on top of the tape and underneath the tape at the same time, instead of just putting it under the tape only. So there'll be 2 dryer sheets for each box of reel-to-reel. I want to go in the shed, but I just took a look there, and it's going to take me a long time to get at the boxes, or the box anyways, that contains more reel-to-reel tapes. As far as I know, there are some more out there, and cassettes and 35mm slides. It's been suggested to keep these things in the house. I can't do that. When you live in a mobile home, our closets are packed. There's no room for anything. As a matter of fact, stuff is stored outside the closets. So it has to be like, I can't bring this into the house. I don't have any room for it. So anyways, I ordered online, and I will show you right now. I ordered a capacitor for this, 1.5 microfarads, which is what this is. 1.5 microfarad, 250 volt AC. Motor run capacitor. James Asbell said that these are motor run capacitors, not start capacitors, and that makes a lot of sense, because if the capacitor is bad, the motor is going to run slower. And I've been watching videos on it, and I also, on the auction, it cost me $8 and change for the capacitor, which it looks like a ceiling fan capacitor, but it's listed as 1.5 microfarad, 250 volt AC, Sony motor cap, run cap. And here is the link right here. Okay, so now that you saw what it is, in the event that any of you have a similar situation, you may want to check that out and find out if that's not the one for you. There may be others online that you could find. I stripped the wires back. The black and white go together, and the green goes off by itself. There's only 2 terminals on this. I put this on my ICO 950, and it promptly breaks down very quickly. On the capacity, it reads about 1.5 microfarad with about a 10% power factor loss. It's not an electrolytic. These are AC capacitors. So don't ever use an electrolytic in here. If you ever see electrolytic on a tape recorder motor, it'll be a DC motor. This is an AC motor. So you'll have an AC capacitor. Alright, so that's going to be in probably towards the end of this month. Now, while we are waiting for this and the capacitor to come in, because I took the screws and I put them back into here, you can see them. The capacitor I ordered has a place where you can put a screw through it. It's not round, If you saw the picture on that auction, it's a square capacitor. Not a problem, there's plenty of room here. Of course, I won't be able to use this insulated cover that normally goes over here, but I'll use heat shrink. I'll solder them to the terminal, make sure I got heat shrink on there, and that should be good. Okay, so that, like I say, while we're waiting for that, I'm on WVGA because this is going to probably take a while. I got to clean out the stuff out of the shed, and I want to get those tapes. I don't have any room in this shop, but I got to get those tapes in here. The cassettes, I can't. I got way too many cassettes. They'll have to stay out there. But I'll try to get the reel-to-reel tapes in here. So let me set you up outside or in the shed, and let's go, let's dig for those tapes. And we're going to have to yank Uncle Dorle out because he's sitting on top of one of the boxes. I think it's 35 millimeter, and there's another box under here. I gotta move Uncle Dorle. I gotta move the vacuum cleaner. I gotta move the box of rags over there. Well, they're not all rags. That's packing material. It's only a little bit of rags. That's actually a hillbilly outfit. We used one Halloween many years ago. There's my compressor buried in the back where I can't get at it. Alright, so I'm going to set you up as we go along here. Oh man. See what I go through? This is why I usually end up buying something instead of trying to go in the shed and get it. There's no place to put anything. Everywhere I turn, every space is taken. Every space is taken. Ooh. I gotta get this box of miscellaneous out of here. Stuff is just thrown in boxes. I have no idea what it is. That's why I never can find anything. When I get those tapes out of here, they have to stay in the shop. And I hate to see the condition of them. They were in before I moved out of the house. Got my tapes out when my brother had to get out of there. I had no choice but to put them here. You can see I can't even move around in the electronic shop, and I'm going to have to force these in there somewhere. So, there's nothing I can do. I've got boxes of cassettes, but I ain't bringing those in there. I just don't have the room. Now, what I got to do is get Uncle Dorle out of here, and I think you can still see I got the door open. It's as wide as the door opens because I hit stuff in the back of the door. I got to get Uncle Dorle out on the bench. It's been a while since I got him out. Now, Watch I don't bang his head. And there'll be another job for me to do. Alright, I hope you can see most of what I'm doing. We got a cooler here. That was my wife's parents' cooler. It contains an HP printer, which no longer works on Windows 7. When we went from XP to 7, it would not work on 7. And that's one of the reasons why we will never go to Windows 10, because each time there's an operating system change, we have to buy a new printer because it's not compatible. But that's beside the point. Let's get this out of here. Now we come into two big boxes. Well, not quite. We're getting there. Alright, we got this press board here. We'll set that over here. We've got absolutely no room. I can't even get at my box wrenches, my ratchet wrenches, end wrenches and all that stuff. Buried. I can't get at it. It's so frustrating. That's originally why I built what is now my electronic shop. That was supposed to be a storage shed. That's why the door is made small and low, 3 foot wide, but 4 feet high, because it was only for storage. So when I made the electronic shop, everything went back in here. Here, now these are just papers. These are not cassettes. Reel-to-reel tapes and cassettes, slides and so forth, from 267 Broad Street, New London, where we moved out of, where my brother was living and where I had my workshop. Let's see if I can put that up here without... Alright. Now before I pull that out, I want to see what's under here. Nope, just miscellaneous things. I'm going to go through this. Whatever audio tapes that are in here, reel-to-reel, and 35mm slides, they are going to go in the electronic shop. I cannot bring these into the house. Oh man, I'm getting too damn old for this stuff. And to think I used to carry an 80-pound Tektronix 535 up the attic stairs with one hand, and the other hand holding on to the railing. Oh man. Alright, let me get you down off the high shelf here. And let's open this. We'll open it out here, and we're going to take out all the reel-to-reel tapes, and then we'll put the box back in, and then put Uncle Dorle back on top of it. There's Uncle Dorle. Yes, I want to try to get a skit going. The weather stays warm, but I got to take care of the big van. It needs a lot of work, and I cannot put it off anymore. I'm almost tempted to do a little today, but I don't have. It's not quite warm enough, and I wanted to use that sealant stuff, and several people have told me what to use. But I have to go out and buy some, and right now I'll have to wait on that. But it's got to warm up. Sunday it's supposed to be real warm. It's supposed to rain. They're predicting a nor'easter, but like the man in the weather guesser said, it doesn't mean snow. It's just the direction of the wind. But it's a rain event. But it's going to be tomorrow and Friday, I believe, and into Saturday morning. But Sunday's supposed to be beautiful. Let's take a look at Uncle Dorle and see if how much mildew he has on him. Yeah, somebody suggested, Steve, I think, said you could use the amplifier in Uncle Dorle. Yes, I can, but it's all mounted in here, and I want something for the shop. I don't want to pulling this out. But yeah, he seems to be okay, I guess. No fungus growing on his head yet. Nose didn't fall off. Eyes are still in there. What a mess. Okay. Now I sealed this up, but when you seal it, I sealed it to keep the moisture out, but moisture will get in there anyways. So, I don't know where I'm going to put them. If this is all tapes, I don't know how I'm going to get them in the workshop. I haven't got any room. And what's going to happen is they're going to be piled up on the bench, and then I can't do any work. All right. Let me get you set up on the tripod here. And definitely musty. I'm not too worried about this stuff. Yeah, I'm not worried about these. Oh, they stink really bad. I had gotten these real cheap. Movie themes. I can't read that without magnifying glass. These are what I'm worried about here. These are the ones I made. So we'll bring that in. Yep. Definitely loaded with fungus. Nothing I can do. This is a common occurrence where we live. It looks okay inside except for the box. Alright, I'm going to take them out. I'll clean them off camera. It's taking a lot of time up. Slides and movies. Somebody's cutting some small trees, I guess. I don't know who's doing it, but that's probably what you're hearing in the background. The Pop Stoneman Memorial Album. That I want to keep. Nothing I can do. I didn't put them in the shed because I want to. I had to. I got no room in the house. As it is now, I have the 8mm movies in metal cans in the closet. I never put those out here. But I can't put everything in the house. The closets are packed. Take my word for it. I'm not about to show you. Just giving them a wipe down now. I'll clean them up and then I'll bring them into the shop. I'm going to probably need another box of dryer sheets. I don't think I'm going to have enough. I got more tapes than I realized. See how dingy that is? You wipe it off and it comes right off. Songs, 3 3/4 inches per second. Oh man. Much worse than I thought. I imagine they'll probably break when I go to play them. The shed don't leak, but everything that goes in this shed is musty. Here's all my writing. Impossible dream. If I rule the world. This was recorded by my cousin's late husband, Mike. And this was sent to Carol Burnett show back in the very early 1970s. I recorded this on a Radio Shack reel-to-reel tape recorder. And it was sent to Carol Burnett, and it was sent back to him. And she wrote to him and told him, you need an agent. He had a very good voice. I might play this if it's playable a little bit, but you've got to remember the copyright Nazis on YouTube will chop it, so I'll have to just play a few seconds of it. These are songs like Impossible Dream, If I Ruled the World, San Francisco. I never cared for that song. Who Can I Turn to? Nobody. You're nobody until somebody loves you, and stuff like that. That was the type of music that he liked to sing. He was about 6'6", and nice guy. He died young, very, very young. Probably not even 30 years old. Okay, now. Oh man, these are pathetic. It's a damn shame. I never had this problem when they went in the attic. Oh, this one ain't too bad. I gotta clean these up very good before I bring them into the shop, and then I'll get some dryer sheets into them. They're gonna smell. I'm never gonna get the smell out. And let me take you over and look in the box here. Now there's a few of hundreds of cassettes that I had made in the years past. Oh man. There's probably WWVA live recordings I made when I was at the Capitol Music Hall in Wheeling. This was TDK tape. This tape here I used to get, and it squealed like a banshee. This particular TDK, the red box tape, was squealing tape. You'd use them for a short while and they'd squeal, mechanical squeal in the cassette. And you'd use head lubricant, and that helped a little bit. But the tape material on that particular TDK tape was noted for squealing. I found the best tape is Sony and the better brand of TDK, like this one. These were fine. When I worked at Aikens Electronics, I used to get dealer cost, and they sold TDK tape. Oh, I think we're going to take these and put these in the shop too. This is a reel-to-reel Hollywood strings. I never cared for that kind of music, but I don't know where I got it. I might have given it to me. You know, somebody had given them to me. These I don't remember. Leroy Anderson. It's not my kind of music, but at the time, before I got an alignment tape, which I no longer have and got rid of that many years ago, where you could do your head alignment on your reel-to-reel. I also had one for cassette. You can also check the speed of your tape recorder with the tones that they put on the test tape. Well, before I got test tapes, I probably bought these and used these for head alignment when you adjust your azimuth and you adjust for the maximum highs. So you want to use a pre-recorded tape, not something you made. Alright, I'm going to clean these up. I'm going to get all these in there. I'm going to put something else in this box and put this underneath Uncle Dorle. Before I go into the shop to clean up these tapes, put the dryer sheets in, do I need to open this? Do I dare open this? I know I have all my movies in metal cans, so I'm not sure what these movies are. These might be pre-recorded movies, 8mm. I'm not sure. I hate to open it, but it was in this big box, which is now back under Uncle Dorle. I got everything back in. What's in that box now is extra stuff that I don't use anymore. Nothing that I'm going to be needing to go into. All tapes and slides and everything else have been removed from that box. Alright. A lot of these slides I took my 35mm camera, Petri Penta. These are some of the, you probably can't really see that too good, but these are some of the cartoon stuff that I used to put on my slideshows. These are all photographs that I took with my Petri Penta manually operated 35mm camera. Yep, that's what I figured. Well, a lot of these things are just stuff that I talk. So here's all the film reels and stuff. And I saved all this material here for leader material and everything. I guess we'll get that into the shop. Oh man, this was a light meter. I never used. I got it at a yard sale, I think. Here is another light meter. Oh man, I don't like seeing this. There's nothing I can do. I can't put this stuff in the house. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Here's some more. Pieces of film, and I saved these because I used to put fixed films and stuff. Well, I don't know. So disheartening. Well, this is what you gotta do, you know, you gotta put them somewhere, and you can't put everything in the house. right. Now I got a lot of 35mm slides. I got 100 slide carousels from my Sawyer 35mm slide projector, which I still have over in the old house in my photo closet. I call it a photo closet because that's where I kept all my films and stuff. It was in the front hallway of the old house. I still got those up there, but they're all like Fort Ligonier, 35mm, Erie, Pennsylvania, Flagship Niagara, Gettysburg, all the monuments and stuff that I photographed in 1972, Nashville, Tennessee, Oglesby Park in Wheeling, West Virginia, and even some of the Jamboree, I believe, but I had to leave all those behind. I didn't have the room, and if I brought them here, they'd be destroyed anyways. So as it stands now, I would say that these are no good too. I don't know. I'll bring them in the shop and trip over them. What can I say? Well, I cleaned them up as best I could. The boxes are falling apart at the hinges. You know, the paper hinges they have on them. And some of the tapes are really, really bad. Boxes I had to clean out, all this mildew on the inside of the boxes and the outside. I don't know where I'm going to put this stuff. The tapes I figured I was going to bring in here, and I have to find room in here somewhere. I'm going to go through this, but right now, I'm going to concentrate on the tapes. Okay, folks. There's not much I can do about these tapes. I've got a lot of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's about 20 of them here. And, this is mild compared to some of them. You got a little, kind of like a gray dust in here, like clean on this side. This is the side that was on the box laying down. Now I wiped these boxes down outside with an old rag, and we'll wipe them again. The only thing I can do is to, and I can't do it today, it's going to take a real warm day. I'm going to take all the tapes out and lay the boxes open like this and spray it with bleach, a light mist of bleach, and let it air dry. But that's got to be done in a hot day, like on a summer day. So there isn't much I can do. Country Music Radio, WWCO-FM. That's one of the, I think that's Waterbury, Connecticut, I think. Or is it WATR? You're talking back in the 1970. November 26, 1970. So, we're going to be using 2 dryer sheets, one on the bottom and one on the top. There's 40 sheets in this box. And I'm sure we will be using every single one of them. Let's make sure I got one. No, I don't want to go. Okay, that's one. One on the bottom. This is all I can do right now. All I can do, folks. You know, you can't help it. You know, not everybody has a lot of money and can afford dry storage, climate control. You know? Alright, there's one. So, let's put this down here for now so we don't get them mixed up. I gotta do these up here too. Alright. I don't even know what's on these tapes. Maybe some of them have never been recorded on, and a lot of them were done, I got them used. but most tapes I got were bought new. Sure glad I'm doing this in WVGA. I'll tell you, I had trouble uploading last night the video that you just got through watching. The last one. I had to do it 3 times. It uploaded, but the damn YouTube is back to their old tricks again of processing 0. Sitting there 10, 15 minutes, processing 0. So I try to upload it again. I changed the title of it, upload it again, and I get an error. I guess it recognizes the content of a file or something, because I used to be able to do that. If one fails, I'd upload another one at the same time, opening a different page on the browser. So I had to do it the 3rd time it worked, but I had to delete the other ones out of there. And it finally processed. The upload went okay. It's just YouTube is back to their old tricks of not processing it. Not too bad. I'm just wiping over. I've already done this outside. Some of these have these little red clips on there that holds the tape down. This is December 19th, 1970. So I got most of the powdered mildew powder out of here, so I don't mess up my shop here. Of course, I know some of you are going to say it's dangerous. I'm not going to worry about that. At 75 years old, I'm not going to worry about it. I could kick the damn bucket any day now. Oh, I missed the side here, a little gray dust. Alright, that's okay. All these were cataloged. Wheel number 7. I have a book, but I think it's in the old workshop, that listed everything that was on the tape, every song or every event. And you just look in the catalog and say, well, this is reel number 7, and it would tell me what's on the tape. A lot of these recordings in 1970, these were made, were done off of records. So somewhere in this collection, probably in my cassette collection, I have a recording of Swiss on Rye. This is supposed to be this way. See, the hinge tears off, and so it's only paper. It's only a paper moon. Isn't there a song by that name? This is Kodak. One of the best tapes out there, because they would put it in a plastic bag. So this didn't get any fungi on it, but the box did. This is recorded on, and I'll read it to you. I'm not playing any of these today, of course. This video is a show and tell of my sad storage situation. Actually, a heartbreak. All right. This was recorded at 7 1/2 inches per second. WWVA Jamboree, recorded October 1969 on the Realistic 300D tape deck. That's a 1960s vintage, very small, took full-size reels, had the wooden case like this one. a realistic 300D. I sold it to a guy, a CB, years ago. I also had a Sansui 500A vacuum tube stereo AM/FM receiver amplifier that I had back then, and an AR1W woofer and an AR2AX for one speaker. At the time I couldn't buy two speakers, so I had to buy, you know, what I could afford. Let's see. Direct off the radio, FM mostly. Tracks 1, 2, 3, and 4. Monaural, of course. So, that would be one that I may want to briefly play, but not today. Briefly play, but not today. Okay. I might have to go. I bought 2 boxes of these, so I can break into the second box, but I wanted to keep one for the big van and for under the hood of the minivan. You know, we've been very lucky, but this is going on the second year that we have not had any mice in the vehicles. Very, very unusual. These have been cleaned, but I'm just going over them again. This one's fairly clean, a little discoloration, but not too bad. Definitely musty. You see, you get a little wrinkling on the tape. This is the dark tape. Now, it doesn't, acetate recording tape. Okay, this says acetate, but I've got some in the Radio Shack box that says Mylar, and it's black too, so I don't know. I used to know all this. I forgot more than I know. Is it me, or is that normal to forget 3/4 of what you used to know? I find it very hard with this new technology, absorbing it, so I really don't try too hard. Alright. I love the old technology. Although new technology, like with the videos we're doing, everything is great, because if this had been the 60s, this tape is cupping real bad. There wouldn't be any of these videos. There'd be movie film, and that's only about 3.5 minutes at 18 frames a second with a 50-foot roll. And you can see how much money I'd be spending with my flapping. Alright, these are some of the index cards that I used to put inside the cassette. This is reel number 4, but these got separated because this here is reel 1. So we'll leave that out for now, but to give you an example of what I have on reel number 4, left channel, side 1, number 1 song is Folsom Prison Blues by Ben Calder. I believe he was a comic singer, almost certain of that. I had a lot of records, Homer and Jethro comedy, you know, like I say, those would be stored in the shed if I had them, never got rid of them. And they would be loaded with must. They would be so bad that the jackets would stick to the record, and it would have to be thrown out. So You can't put everything in the house. So don't tell me to keep them in the house. I got no room. I got no room here, but at least this is more climate controlled. One of the things I got for Christmas, my wife got me a little, I asked for it, a little dehumidifier. It's a solid state one. I think it does 100 cubic feet or 100 square feet. It's only a little thing, and it has a little 500 ml tray. I was thinking maybe of just leaving it in here. The air conditioning takes care of it, but when you're not running the air conditioner on a humid summer night or, you know, a day when you're not in here, I think that'll help a lot too. There's nothing I can do about the main shed, you know. So I tried it out, but of course with the cold weather now, the air is very dry. Right Back to Loving by Del Reeves. Sundown in Nashville, Carl Butler and Pearl. I have a question mark here on something by Jack Scott. Mr. Peters by Roy Drusky and Michelle. Drop Silver in the Jukebox by Dick Curlis. Oh yeah, I had every record Dick Curlis ever made, including The Iceman. Send Me Violets, Mel Tillis. Jack Showa. I don't know what that is. Dolly Parton. Oh, Joshua. I can't even read my own writing. Even back in the 70s, I printed stuff because it was easier. I couldn't even read my own handwriting. I'll Step Aside, Johnny Boyd. Footprints in the Snow, Mac Wiseman. Tulsa Country, Anita Carter. Okay. So anyways, did I do this one? No. Talking so much here, that's the problem with me. I talk too much.
You talk too much, you gonna do. Talk too much.
Look at that. Coming apart here. And it smells musty. You talk too much and keep your mouth shut. You talk too much, oh, dirty rotten. Never mind. Alright, let's see what we got here. Sound for Movies. Super 8mm, September 1971, reel number 1. Okay. What I used to do back in the early 1970s, that unit that Dan Kublu Lights has or had is a great big blue thing, vinyl on it, with an amplifier and a automatic slide changer is what that was. That hooked to my Sawyer projector, had a relay in it. Every time a tone went on, it would change the slide. I built and designed that. Simple audio stereo amplifier, right channel, was connected to, was rectified, went to a small diode relay and operated the relay, which did the same thing as changing the slide on the slide projector on the remote control. It had a cord that plugged into the remote control jack on the Sawyer slide projector. And then on the left channel, I had all my commentary. Well, sometimes I'd pull out my reel-to-reel. I had, at that time, a VM stereo, can't remember the model number, I had a little iTube. The indicator was not a round one like the old radios. It used a rectangular one. And I'd play that and key it with that. So that's what these sounds are for the movies. Like when I I'd put a show on. I went all out when I went on vacation, and when I got home from vacation, I'd go for 2 weeks. I'd go to Wheeling, West Virginia, Nashville, Tennessee, or well, on the way to Wheeling, I'd stop at Gettysburg or Pennsylvania Dutch Country. I mean, I did. Each year, I'd go to a different place on the way to Wheeling and stop at all the places along the way, usually off the Pennsylvania Turnpike. And I'd be taking 35mm slides with my Petri Penta, all manual, as I said, and used a light meter. Well, I got to a point where I didn't need to use a light meter. I just remember looking at the sky, f8, f11, f5.6, whatever, 1/30th, 1/60th of a second shutter speed, usually 1/60th. Anyways, and I had the 28mm lens, I had a 300mm lens, I had telephoto, and all that stuff. Anyways, so I'd get this music, and I don't remember, I got it off of records probably, put it on there, and I'd have it would be in that book too. I don't think there's a tag for this. No. That's the one I just put in there. Talking so much I don't even remember what the heck I'm doing. I have a bad habit of that, but I like to reminisce, as you well know. A lot of you probably couldn't care less about this stuff, but, you know, to each his own. Like one of my viewers didn't like that kind of music. I said, well, to each his own. They don't have good music anymore on the radio. The last time you had good rock and roll was in the 50s and the 60s. Everything as far as rock and roll, it sucks. It's noise. It's horrifying to listen to. Your best rock and roll was in the 50s and the 60s. And I used to love to listen to pipe organ music when I had the AR speakers. And I had a 55-watt channel Sony receiver after I graduated up to a more powerful set. So those pipe organs sounded pretty good coming through the AR3 woofer and the AR2AXs. I had them both. Eventually I got two AR2AXs, and I still use the AR1 subwoofer because the AR1W went down to a clean 30 cycles. And as I recall, the specifications on an AR2AX was 42 cycles or close, but I got down to about, I could hear 35 out of it. Anyways, let's see. So I like pipe organ music. That was in my collection of 550 LPs. Comedy. I'm not into classical. I mean, you know, it puts me to sleep. If you want to go to sleep, that's good music to listen to. There's nothing wrong with it. I just not my kind of thing, you know. I don't like jazz, especially horn blowing, solo horns. Now, if you're talking about Fats Domino, and you know, when you got the horn in there, oh yeah. Now that is great. Or even Al Hurt. I listen to that once in a while. Java, I think, is the name of it. I had a lot of records, as I keep saying. Yep, let's see what we got on this one. Country music, WWCO. I think that is Waterbury, that station long gone, I think. 11/13/1970, and that's the day. Back in the days, I connected direct line out from the radio Sansui into my reel-to-reel recorder. I only used a microphone back in the early 60s before I graduated to better equipment. And I'm going to take a peek at this camera. Hang on a minute, see if it's still recording. Yeah, it was still recording. All right. Yeah. Here's another one, WWCO. And some of WHIM. 1110, out of Providence, Rhode Island. My wife was from Providence, Rhode Island. She was born in Providence, Rhode Island, and she used to listen to that. She likes country too, but of course her taste in country is more of the modern. She doesn't like a lot of the modern, but she likes more than I do, and she likes the older country music also, but she does not like instrumentals, and I love listening to a fiddle tune and lively instrumental, country instrumentals and stuff like that, but she doesn't care for that. But anyways, WHIM 1110 on the AM radio dial back in the, I think the last time, I think it went off the air in the 80s, late 80s probably, maybe 90s. So that's on here. The problem with playing any of these, it's got the music and I got to only give you a few seconds of it because of the copyright Nazis, as I say so many times. We got a long way to go here. We're probably not even half done if I stop talking and just, or keep on working. And I can't chew gum and talk at the same time or walk at the same time. Here's reel number 8, January 2nd, 1971. All these are music, country music, of course. So again, I'm not going to, that box is clean, not going to even think about playing them for you. I might, if they have a station identification. Now I'm kind of leery, these could snap. Although so far everything's been good, and when the tape snapped, it did not snap when I started it off or stopped it. It was going right along nice, and the tape just separated. So it was no strain, it was just worn out. Pop Stoneman Memorial Album. I cleaned this box up pretty good outside. Oh, it's hot and open. So, tape itself is not musty. Now that's the way the pre-recorded tapes are, but you can see it's kind of like a little wrinkled here, and it's kind of like wobbly, wound, but it's relatively clean. But you can see in here it's not too smooth. Pre-recorded, of course. Evie, Pop Stoneman, the Stoneman family. I had their albums, the LPs. There was a good, very good band, excellent. Message from Home, Where the Soul Never Dies. No name for it yet. The Birds Are Returning, The Mountaineers. Courtship, Side 2. Blue Ridge Mountain Blues. Katie Klein. I Love Corina. I love Corina. Corina. I wonder if that's the same song. That was a 50s song. The Baby O. Stoney's Waltz. Hallelujah. All right. Now this box was pretty bad, but the tape seemed to be fine. About the only thing I think these will do is make it smell better. Although I've used dryer sheets years ago in my workshop, and I put them, like, I used a whole box of them in one book that was musty at a estate sale years and years ago. And at the attic workshop, nothing ever got musty up there. Down in the cellar, yes, but in the attic, never. So I never had problems with the tapes being stored up there. Or in my photo room, which was on the second floor of the house, never a problem there either. And like I say, I used a whole box doing that one book. Come back a few months later, the book is still musty. So you can't get that smell out. It's impossible. Gotta live with it. So about the only hope you can do is to maybe sweeten it up a little bit by using these. And that's about the size of it. This one here, as I recall, was the worst of all of them. Look at all these specks of fungi. You may or may not be able to see that. That side's not too bad because it was laying against the box. All this fungi. So there's nothing much I can do. You can't just spray bleach on that. Bleach will kill the fungus, but it'll also destroy the tape. So there's nothing I can do about that. That's loaded with fungi. And also, I have a note in here, it needs to be spliced at the beginning of the tape. I did a rotten job. Now, even back then, I didn't do a good job. Oh. Nothing much I can do, just can't spray it with bleach. Somebody would probably tell me throw them out. Well, I'm not going to do that. Galaxy, 3 3/4 inches per second recording speed. That was the worst one, because I already opened them up before. This one's got a little discoloration in here. I have a feeling this video is going to be well over an hour. I just hope I don't have more trouble with the uploading, with the processing, I should say. As I think YouTube is back to its old tricks again. There's one of these little red clips that's supposed to hold the tape down. A lot of them had them, but they'd fallen off throughout the years. Yeah, just one. Thought I put 2 on there, but it's only need 1. That's about all I can do with those. Another one, 1970. Another country music. Now it's nice to, if I had the room, just let these tapes play in the background. It's like we live in the good old days when they had good music on the radio. Now, a lot of these were taken off of, like I say, WWCO and WATR in Waterbury when they had country music, and I lived in New London, but I had an FM antenna on there in the attic, so I was able to pick them up on that Yagi FM antenna, which I no longer have because that was some of the stuff I gave away when the guys came up to the attic, which is fine because it would have got junked anyways. The house is still standing, of course, and there's still stuff up there. Now this one's got a little bit of a kind of a like a gray look to it, but doesn't seem to come out of there. Not gonna worry about it. Even if it didn't have anything in it, it would still smell musty. They went that way is another one that broke off at the side here. Even if they didn't smell, didn't look had fungus on them, they would still smell musty. As everything in the shed gets musty. I gotta tape this box up. Yeah, what a boring video, huh?
What a boring video. All the four corners are torn out of it. We'll try to fix it. Hate it when it folds up on itself like that. It's clear I can't see it good. Well, that wasn't too smart, was it? But
I just put down the name on it. This one's in good shape. See anything there. Boy, is it reek of mildew though. Mustiness. Very strong on that one. All these boxes got cleaned off basically with the worst of it. There's very little, but I'm just going over it again. I think we're going to have to stop right now. This is the last of the dryer sheets. I have to break out the other box. So we got probably 3, 4, 5 more tapes down here. We're going to end this video. All I'm doing is repeating myself, but I'm going to leave these here. These aren't going to be a problem, but all this stuff in this box here, might as well waste some more time for you. You got a good lunch there? I hope you're having a good lunch. Alright, Hunchback of Notre Dame with Charles Lawton, Super 8. Movie film looks good. Don't see any mildew on it. Of course, you know, these are what they call the highlight reels. Naturally, it's not a whole movie. Master of Terror, Super 8. This has got a lot of fungus on the box. Oh, the reel looks pretty good. The box ain't bad inside. I'll do the dryer sheet things with these too, but these were in the box, as I said, out in the shed. Now, I never liked Star Wars. This was given to me, I guess, or something. I never liked Star Wars, Star Trek, or anything else. I never cared for them movies. That's not too good, is it? No, actually, it's just the way the cardboard is. That's not fungus. Alright. It's probably worth something to somebody that's a collector, but again, it's a highlight reel, you know. Ken Films. And Wonderful Israel, the Holy Land. 8mm movie, silent black and white. Now, who knows? These are things I don't need. I'd be more than happy to, if anybody's a collector out there, I'd probably send it to them. There's a smaller one yet. Oh, this one's really fungi. This is the 50-foot. These are 200 feet. This is only going to be about 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. Yeah. That box ain't too good, is it? Fungi. This one's loaded with fungi. Unbelievable Varan. From the world below, it came to terrorize, to destroy, to revenge. Huh. Sea Rivals. I'm not interested in any of these movies. Only ones I'm interested in is my own. I used to have a few, probably 10 or 15, 16mm sound full-length features on 1,500-foot reels. When I had my Bell & Howell sound movie projector, I can't remember the model number, 179 or something like that, I rebuilt the entire thing, lubricated, greased, oiled, rebuilt the amplifier years ago, back in the late 60s, early 70s. And I got rid of those films, of course. Then I'll go through these later. I've got, well, I lost my magnifying glass. Isn't that something? I don't know. I'm always losing it. This one don't magnify as much. All right, this is a home movie. This is Super 8 because you got the big hole in the middle. This is Super 8. These are how I used to get them back from Kodak Processing Lab. Kodachrome movie film, Super 8. That's how you get them back. Air Show. Probably in the mid-70s. Sturbridge Village. Focus problems. Yes, I had a GAF. Brand new movie camera. I had to bring it back. I went to Sturbridge Village that year. That was in the early 70s. A Super 8. one of my first Super 8 cameras. It was out of focus. See, with movie film, you don't know if it's out of focus, unlike videos, until you get the film back from processing. So it was all out of focus. Oh. 35mm slides. Alright, I got tons of stuff here. I'm going to end this video now. Some audio cassettes. Okay, before I close it, this is Slide Narration 1974 slideshow. Okay, I used to use the Sony cassettes. What I'd do is I'd have all my narration on this tape. I'd put a slideshow on, in this case intermission music, recorded on the left channel, and on the right channel there was a tone that would change the slide after I get to narrating it. And this was played on a cassette, stereo cassette boombox that I had, Sony. The left channel had all the narration on it. The right channel had the tone. Went through that unit that I told you about that Dan has or had. Automatic, I just sit back. I didn't have to do anything. The slideshow would play. Once in a while I'd have to go and adjust the focus. I didn't have to do anything. So the entire show was completely automated. Because all my voice and stuff, it took me a couple months, month and a half maybe, to put the show on, because I went to so many places. I went to Mammoth Cave, Kentucky. Wish I could find that little magnifying glass. Mammoth Cave, Kentucky, Wildlife, Dayton, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio. Lots of these were 35mm slides at the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio, back in the days when I used to travel. So I went to a lot of places, and I'm going to end this video, folks. I talk too much.